Hello everybody, welcome to today's episode of Etching Scripts 101. It is your host Whitney, and today I'm coming at you guys with this little bit topic of voting in this 2020 election. Now, I don't want to make it cliche. I'm pretty sure everybody is thinking pretty much the same thing here, but we're just gonna get right on into the topic because I have a lot to talk about today.
Listen to this track, bitch.
First off, on this podcast, we talk about a lot of things. We talk about pretty much everything. We talk about all of the things that we've done in our adolescence to adulthood. We talk about the journey, the mistakes. Pretty much, this is a safe space for you to come here and to listen about like all of the mistakes that I've made, listen to the merry stories that I've done, and then in turn you can send me your stories and I can share it on here on this platform. You can share your stories to me for whether that be advice or just to share your story, and I keep everyone anonymous. The email will pop up on the screen, but you're wondering, okay, like, this is a podcast, girl, it's not gonna be on the screen. Yes, it is. This is also on my YouTube channel. It's not called Etching Scripts 101, but you will find a playlist called Etching Scripts 101 under the YouTube name Whitney Script. So my YouTube channel is Whitney Script, and you can follow me on all platforms. YouTube is Whitney Script, Instagram is Whitney's_script, and then pretty much you'll catch everything else there. I also have an Etching Scripts 101 Instagram, but that will all be in the description box, etc., etc. You guys know the vibes. So pretty much let me just tell you the email. My email is that's not my email. My email is writersoneworld@gmail.com. So if you have any, things that you're going through and you want advice on, make sure you put in the subject title ES101 and then whatever title you want to give it, so that way I can know specifically that you're coming from my podcast. So now that we're getting that out the way, don't forget to subscribe. Now that we're getting that out the way, listen. So for me, I'm 24 years old, and this will be my first time ever voting in a presidential election. I know that's kind of weird because I had my opportunities to vote. Like, I had my opportunity to vote for Clinton when she ran against Trump. So let me tell you what happened. Your girl was registered, and then I'm one of the people that somehow did not maintain their registration, maintain air quotes, because like the thing is, like, I know for sure when I went to, whenever you go to renew your license, if you're not registered, they ask you if you want to be registered. And I remember going there and being like, yes, I would like to be registered, because I wanted to vote in the Clinton thing. And then I wanted to vote for Hillary Clinton when she went up against Trump, even though like till today I don't think that she should have been the first. Well, she wasn't, but I don't think she would have been right to be the first woman president. But because she had more experience, I was like, you know what? Yeah. But we all saw how that went. We all saw how that, what do I want to call him? The pumpkin? I don't know what I want to call him. But pretty much we knew what happened. We knew what was the outcome. And so at this point, we're just kind of sitting and waiting because we don't know what the hell is going to happen. We don't know who the hell is going to be president in 2021. And during the time when I wanted to vote for Clinton, I tried to, but they told me I wasn't registered. So that didn't make no damn sense, because I was literally at the DMV when they registered me, but somehow I couldn't vote in this election. So now I have receipts that I voted. I've checked twice that I am registered to vote. I was able to vote last year or the year before for a bill that they were trying to amend, and it got amended, but that's okay because at least I was able to vote. It was my first time voting in my like local area, whatever it is, right? So this go around, I'm really concerned because as someone who, I really like politics and I really like the strategy of everything. I really want to know what people want to do for us, the people of color. I really want to know what's their goal, like their end goal. Like, why do you want to do this for me? And are you just looking for the black vote? Because there is a lot that needs to be done. And just because you say, oh, I'm a Democrat, does not mean that you're automatically going to get the black vote. What happened in fucking the Trump versus Clinton? A lot of people didn't want to vote for Clinton, so they just didn't, right? Which is why Trump won, which is crazy because I still like thinking about it. It makes sense but I don't like that that's what we've come to. And let me make that make sense. Like, voting wise, how does Clinton have over 3 million more votes than Trump and still loses? And even though the mechanisms and everything like that, like the whatever, the technicalities, I get it, I still don't think it is appropriate or fair. I don't know how I want, what word I want to use there. It just doesn't sound accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like, 3 million people is a lot. 3 million votes is a lot. So it just doesn't really make sense to me. Regardless. So as a first time voter, right? I'm just sitting here wondering, like, for people who are 18 and wanting to vote for the first time, I feel like the only way that they're going to truly vote is if they base off of their, like, peers or their family's values. And that's that I don't even feel comfortable saying that, because that's not true. But I'm trying to think of an 18-year-old me, like, how would I be able to discern who I want to vote for? Because being honest, Biden's not doing it, and I sure as hell don't want Trump in here. But I don't not want to vote, right? Because, like, basically, if you're not voting, then you're basically choosing the person that you don't want to be into office. But it's like, I don't want both of them to be in the office, so what the hell do I do? And so the reason why I was thinking that, like, you would kind of pay attention to your peers or your family's values, not values, but political standpoints, is because, like, not everybody, of course, but what if you're a confused 18-year-old who wants to vote for the first time and have no idea who you want to vote for, right? Say you're someone who is pro-gun laws, but they're pro-choice for abortion, right? Like, that's something that's left and there's something that's right, right? What if you stand in the middle? What if you're truly wanting to be an independent, but you don't know how you can use your voice in this election? Because our voices, to me, are very shrouded in this election, because I don't know if I truly believe that Joe Biden, to a certain extent, believes in, you know, the black vote and in what we fight for. However, I don't think that he 100% gets it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we need a white president that's going to help out minorities. I just don't think that they've done it. Even though I know that there's people who have. Don't get me wrong. I know that there's people who have. I'm just saying, like, understanding me 100%, no, I don't think a white man is going to understand me as a black woman, 24 years old, and he's 78. You feel what I'm saying? I know for sure that Trump is not going to understand me, 74, business owner, thinks that $1 million is a small loan. Like, you feel me? Like, I don't connect with either one of them. But because Biden has the most, or has the least evil, like, in his policies, I'm just like, you know what? Either I'm going to cut off my arm or I'm going to cut off my leg. I like walking. I'm right-handed. Let's cut off my left arm. That's Biden. That's pretty, you feel what I'm saying? Like, we are in the same position as last time with Clinton and with Trump, where it's just like, are you going to cut off your left arm or are you going to cut off your right arm? Well, you know, like, might as well. You feel what I'm saying? So I've always wondered if people in the past, like when I was younger, if those elections were kind of like today. And I know that the presidential debates were not necessarily the same, because I've watched those when I was younger. And also, people have said, you know, this is not a professional presidential debate. So let's just talk about it, right? Like, let's talk about it. We can't even specifically talk about each of the candidates' policies, because I feel like they're all over the place. And in the debate itself, they were kind of saying, like, oh no, that's not me, when it's in your policy, oh, I don't support that, but you've been supporting it all this time. Like for example, I know everybody's been talking about this, but for example, how Trump couldn't denounce white supremacy. Like, you can still, I'm confused as to how you can't still uphold your conservative values and denounce white supremacy. Like, who? Because he knows that that's his fan base. So that's why it's crazy to me, because this is going off on a slight tangent, but it's crazy to me how some conservatives literally cannot see for face value that there is a discrepancy in this world. People are treated differently. You are treating people differently. Like, why can't you take accountability for that, right? And so I think that you can truly be a conservative, and I feel like you can be a Republican, which is conservative, and you could be a smart Republican. You can sit there and say, yes, I understand that people are treated differently. There are implicit biases, but I still think that everyone needs to start, everyone needs to pick themselves up by their own bootstraps. Like, that's what a lot of Republicans say, right? And Democrats believe the same thing. We're just saying, like, hey, everyone doesn't start at the same starting line. Let's make it so that they can. And the thing is like, I feel like both parties are saying the same thing. It's just that one is, I don't want to say ignorant to make it sound like they're stupid, but they're ignorant to what other people go through, right? And so I try to put myself in the middle, because I think I'm more so an independent person. Like, I do believe that we should be allowed to have guns, because this is like, at first I didn't think that we should be allowed to have guns, but one of my friends really like put it in perspective, and she was like, the people who are going to get guns and misuse them are not going to get it legally. So why are we going to make it harder for the good people to get guns? We should not make it easier, but we should keep what we have, and then have harder laws on people with mental issues, so that way the people who have mental issues don't get guns, but the people who want to protect their homes could have guns, because the people that are going to misuse their firearms are not going to get it legally. And sometimes they do, but that's not like, it's very rare. You know what I'm saying? Like, people who are going to come into my home and try to kill me are not going to get their guns legally. And I say that with hesitancy, because now I'm like, okay, but what about cops, right? What about Ahmaud Arbery, right? Like, I'm pretty sure they have legal guns, and they still, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm just so conflicted, because I would like to have a firearm to protect myself. But then we talk about Breonna Taylor's case, and how all these people, or not all these people, let me say what it is, all these cops just run it up in there, and the guy shoots because who the hell is coming at my house in the middle of the night and you're not announcing yourself? But there's neither here nor there, because I can go on. I should have a whole episode on that whole case, talking about that whole case, because it's some shit. Like, being real is some shit. So this is like, if anything, this whole election is really pushing me to become an attorney, because I got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just sit here and be talking about how messed up it is and not do anything about it. Like, I have to move. I just don't know what to do yet. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at this moment, I'm just like, I've got to educate myself on pretty much everything before I put myself in that shoes. Because why am I going to be an ignorant politician, right? Trying to advocate for people who grew up like me, but then I don't know how to fix the problems that we all have had growing up. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't help anybody. So as I'm sitting here, this all comes full circle. Like, I know I'm talking a lot, but this all comes full circle. So as I'm sitting here wondering, people who don't necessarily know politics that well, or who are trying to get into politics, is this dissuading them from ever trying to join this sort of field? And I would say it probably is, because how is it encouraging anybody? But at the same time, I'm like, I know I'm going back and forth, but at the same time, I'm like, it probably is encouraging people, because it's just like, how can you have grown-ass men arguing with each other and not talking about your plans? You know what I'm saying? It's not like good arguing. It's not healthy arguing. It's literally talking about shit that don't even matter. Like, in a debate, why was Trump talking about Biden's son? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that have to do with anything at this moment? Maybe I need to get more educated on that, but I feel like with the questions that were being asked, nobody could truly answer a question because of the constant interruption, the constant bombardment. And I know, like, I'm really talking about Trump here, but at the same time, he was the main one doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally didn't want Biden to answer the questions, because I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't know. So I really want to pose this question, like, how can we as first-time voters truly understand who we're voting for with all of these debates? Like, all we really have to look at is, go online and read their policies, because they do have it online. But at the same time, it's like, are we really sure that they're going to implement that when we're seeing them on the screen not being who they say they are, right? Like, you understand where I'm coming with that? So for Trump, I feel like he's being exactly who we all thought he is. And that scares me because it's like, are people being dissuaded from voting for him because he's acting this way? And I don't think so. I think people are loving it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like his supporters are like, yeah, you better tell him who's boss. But I'm like, what is he doing for America though? Like, people want to be like, oh, our international relations are the best they've ever been. No, they're not. Just because they're buddy now with North Korea, that's one country. And I know that that's a lot of resources from one country, but everywhere else in the world, we look like idiots. We're literally stupid Americans to everyone else because we look like fools out here. And I don't want to look like a fool because people, I don't even know what to say. Like, I dead want to move to Canada, not want to have to deal with America anymore. I want to go to Toronto. I know that there's racism everywhere, but like, I think they have a prime minister. I feel like, and universal health care, okay? Like, I feel like personally, I would love living in Canada. Like, I'm really considering it. If it wasn't for me having a close-knit family in New York, and I do feel like I can drive. I feel like I can cross the borders. I think it's like from Toronto. I think it's like 4 hours, but let me see. I'm really about to check on this. You think I'm not, but I'm really about to look. Toronto. 12 hours from here in Alabama. It will take me 12 hours and 54 minutes to drive to Toronto, but it takes 16 hours for me to drive to New York. Oh, that's where Toronto is. Toronto is right there near New York. Oh, but if I drive from Toronto all the way to because I'm not from upstate New York. I'm from by the city. So let's see. I probably should have screen recorded this, but anyways, Toronto to where I'm from. Go. Damn, 7 hours? You're out of your mind. Let's see. You're out of your mind. Okay, so that's not a bad drive, but that's still a little bit too far than what I want to be from my family that is in New York. So, and I know Alabama is further, but I didn't move here by choice. I don't know. I'm really trying to bring everything to perspective here. I don't think we're giving people a fair chance to vote for who they want to vote for. And I don't even think it's our fault. Like, I don't think that we have been given the opportunity to truly analyze who we want to vote for, truly analyze what we're going to stand by. But like, if we're looking for representations, we can't look at the two presidential candidates. The vice president election was a lot more tolerable. It was a lot more interesting, but I still didn't get, my questions answered. Like, for example, Pence's whole thing with abortion, he never really answered that. He said he was pro-life, but he never really answered what he was going to do with Roe v. Wade. And on the other side, Kamala didn't really answer about the Supreme Court seats, I believe. Yeah, and the new Green Deal, I really need to do my research on that because I have no idea what the hell that is. Like, we really asked for Bernie Sanders and Alexandria I can't pronounce her last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. But then we got Biden and Kamala Harris. And, like, the thing is like, everyone that I wanted to be president in that lineup dropped out. I was so pissed. But, I believe that we need another minority to be president. We probably need another Latino American, or maybe an Asian American. We need someone of color to be in that seat. And the reason why I say that is because I personally believe that they will actually adhere to people of color, right? So, and I'm not saying before anybody tries it, I'm not saying Obama didn't do that, because whenever you talk about Trump or Biden, they automatically want to talk about Obama, and I'm just like, take accountability for your fucking actions. Like, and that whole thing with blaming China about COVID, that pisses me off. Like, we got to take accountability for our own actions, because we did not set ourselves up straight for the arrival of COVID. We did not. So don't even try it. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, I do think that we need another minority, and that be even someone of a different sexual orientation, because they're a minority group as well. So if we had a gay, I don't know if we could have a gay president. I don't know if we're ready. I feel like we're never going to be ready, so you might as well just do it. Because I feel like everyone is, or yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Everyone, or let me say it like this, no one is going to vote if we have a gay president. And I feel like more people would vote if we had a lesbian president, for a lesbian candidate, I should say, than they would a gay man. Which is so sad, because what's the fucking difference? I can get in that all day long. But the thing is I think we need another minority. I think we need to bring America back. Not even back, because we were never like this, but I'm saying we need to bring America to where it could be. We have so much potential, and it's literally shrouded by the constant ignorance and racism and just stupidity that riddles our country. And the fact that I'm not even going to claim it like I did it, but the fact that like America elected a president that literally is the epitome of all of that is ridiculous. And so I don't know, I guess I've just kind of been venting on this podcast. I don't know if I really want to say that I've been venting, because if you resonate with what I've been saying, for my YouTube fam, leave it down in the comments below. What do you think? But also for you guys here on the podcast, send me an email. What do you think about this presidential election? And then we can talk about it on my podcast whenever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could literally have this conversation, because I'm not confused. I'm just not happy about it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I wish that I could vote in an election that I am genuinely, for, not just because I have to. I hate doing things because not because I have to, but I hate being forced to do things. If anybody knows me, I hate being forced to do something that I don't want to do. In high school, they told me that there was a dress code. I never adhered to that dress code. Ask my friends, okay? Like, I never did it. My parents said I couldn't wear makeup. I put makeup on the bus, and I took it off on the bus. Try me. I don't like no, let me stop. But like, I mean, I'm not kidding. I really did do that. But you know what I'm saying? And I used to come to school and I had shorts underneath my sweats. I just like to look cute. You know what I'm saying? I just like to look good. But regardless, that's all I had for this topic today. Basically, to sum up, I don't want to say I'm confused. I'm just not happy about it. And I hope that one day I can be the change, so where someone looks at me and they say, yeah, I'm happy to vote for you. I'm not saying I'm trying to be president. I don't know about all of that. But I do like the idea of becoming a judge. I do like the idea of becoming a part of a seat that is important to make change in my community. I do want to make change in my community. So whether that be an entrepreneur, whether that be in big law, just regardless, or helping people with various cases pro bono, regardless, I just want to help. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for listening. If you have anything that you want to say, feel free to hit me up. I'm open. Follow my social medias. It's definitely, you could find it. It's definitely going to be on the screen. It's definitely going to be, in the description box of my channel and of my podcast. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I hope to see you next time.